Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Ed Iser, and I am a professor of theater here at Holy Cross. And it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to the Pryor Center for Performing Arts. This is an amazing experience. We are going to be the first people to ever see this space. So now, we're going to have to keep this just between me and you, but if you can keep a secret, come on, follow me in. Let's go! Standing right outside the entrance to the Pryor Center for the Performing Arts, we're about to walk in. The main entrance, as you can see behind me, above me, is the edifice of the art gallery as it overlooks the Hogan parking lot. And as we walk in, we're actually walking in on the second level. So let's go in and see what we find. So we came in the main entrance of the building and we're on the second level. And if the camera scans to my right, you'll see that we're overlooking the main vestibule or atrium of the theater complex. And right in front of us will be a gigantic, gorgeous stairway that's going to go both down to the lower level and also flow up through the entire building. And as we're now going to take a walk, and we're going to walk to my right down this hallway, and if we can keep filming, we'll see that we're going to come up here onto the second level of what's going to be one of the most exciting spaces in the building. This is going to be the Media Lab or Create Lab, and this is the space where technology and pedagogy and creativity will intersect. We're hoping that this is the space that will truly take advantage of the technology of the 21st century, including 5G, which will allow us, we presume, to do things like augmented reality, virtual reality, holograms, and a host of other things that we can't even imagine at this point. And this will be the space where these ideas will be developed into the 21st century. Things like computer gaming, apps, you name it, this is the space where it's going to happen. Good. And as we continue, and if we look to our left, we are always overlooking what we call the beehive, the place of intersection, where every point in this building comes together. In fact, right ahead of us on the second level is what is called the Beehive Bar. And it's a space where you can stand, and there will be a place where you can put your computer, stand and work and look over and be a part of the community and what's going on in this space. Or you can stand in the bar area and look over a performance that's going on down below us. And if we scan from the Beehive Bar to our left, looking down below, we can see this lower area is the entry to the Flexible Space Theater. Now, what's going to make this truly exciting is it's going to be a gigantic garage door that's going to separate the Flexible Space Theater from the central beehive area. What this will do will allow us to open up that garage door and turn this entire lower area into a gigantic performance space. And again, that would make this the best seat in the house over here at the Beehive Bar. And over there is the Beehive Overlook. So we assume that these are going to be very popular spaces where students can hang out, socialize, study, and be a part of the action. And the action is the entire building, this beehive of creative activity. So we're still on the second level of the building, and we turned a corner from where the Media Lab is, and we're now standing right in front of the entrance to the concert hall. But it's the second level of the concert hall, it's the balcony level. And so as we walk in, and I have never seen this before, I cannot imagine what the view is going to be looking down onto the concert hall stage. So you want to come with me? Come on, let's take a look. Oh boy, here we go. Oh my. Holy moly. Wow. So this is the concert hall looking down from the balcony. And you can see it's a very large opening. It's a 50-foot opening proscenium, which will allow us to put on opera or a choir concert, a full orchestra, and again, touring shows in the future, so if we so choose, because it is a fully outfitted theater as well as a concert hall, which makes it a pretty unique space. As we scan the camera on the right, to the wall, or either side to the left, we'll see that this really interesting concrete fluting has been built into the space, both for aesthetic reasons, because it looks gorgeous, and I imagine it's going to look amazing under lights, but also for acoustics. So this is going to be a world-class facility where we hope not only can we bring in great artists, but we'll also be able to record them. And in a little bit, we'll show you where the world-class sound studio is going to be. That's going to be directly connected to this space, which will allow us to do recordings in here. So we now have moved to what we would call a house left on the balcony, and we're looking from the balcony over to the orchestra right in front of us, and to the left over the orchestra pit, and of course next to that is the main stage. Just a couple things to point out about the orchestra pit. It's a relatively large orchestra pit, suitable for holding an entire orchestra, and most importantly, suitable for holding a pit orchestra for a musical or an opera. But in order to make this space usable so that we can have lectures or classes during the day, the challenge is how do you get rid of all those instruments? And one of the great things about this space is that we have a mechanized orchestra pit. And so at a push of a button, all of the instruments will simply disappear below, and we can set up a podium for a lecture, and we're good to go. Fantastic space. If the camera pans over and we look actually at the orchestra itself, it's an incredibly intimate space that will allow every single person who's seated here to feel like they're directly connected to the performer or to the performance. And for the people on the stage, it will allow an incredible intimacy between themselves and the auditors. Very exciting space, beautifully designed. And then also, just so we know, if we look all the way across at the wall, we can see the beginning of the installation of what's called the rigging system. And this will allow us to hang curtains, it will allow us to fly in and out lights, and it may even allow us to do one or two special effects. That's what rigging does. It's the secrets of the theatrical magic. And up above, we could see the beginning of the rigging for the lights, and we can see what are called catwalks, which are really fascinating. If we go all the way up to the third floor, we would see how that floor, which is called the technical floor, operates. And this allows the technicians to access and focus the lights in a safe and effective manner. And of course, the hope is that we use this space as a training laboratory for our students, and their safety is absolutely paramount. And a catwalk like this will allow us to provide a world-class experience that will not only train our students, but will keep them safe. I am now standing on the stage of the concert hall, this magnificent concert hall with a 50-foot wide opening, the exact same opening as one would find at Lincoln Center. And from this perspective, we can look out and survey the entire audience. And right in front of us is the orchestra. And above it, in the half circle, is the balcony. And again, as I mentioned when we were up there looking down, how intimate and how close you are to the audience when you're in this space. We are standing outside the small ensemble rehearsal room, and you can see that it's an incredibly impressive space that is built upon a floating floor that allows for isolation and clean acoustics, as well as it has an incredible height to the room, which again will feed and provide a really clean, beautiful sound. And not only a clean sound, but a pure sound, because in a little bit I'm going to show you right next door to this space is the sound studio. So not only is this room the small ensemble rehearsal room, but it is also a de facto recording studio. And it's going to have a baby grand, it's going to be set up for wind ensembles, and again, other small groups so that they can both practice and eventually make a recording. I know it's a little bit hard to imagine because we're right now looking at a construction shell, but we walked down the hall from that wide opening that revealed the small ensemble room, and we're now looking actually at the side door to the small ensemble room. And if the camera pans just a little bit to the left, you'll see the opening to what is going to be the sound studio itself, where there's going to be recording equipment, a console, but most fascinating, there's going to be 10 to 12 teaching stations that are connected to the main console, because not only is it going to be a functioning recording studio, it's also going to be a functioning classroom where we'll get to teach the next generation of students the recording arts. One last thing about the recording studio that's pretty cool is that it is going to be the heart blood of the entire building. Every space that I've showed you so far, and every space I will show you, is going to be fed electronically into this room. Now what this does is this will allow us to feed either video or sound recording directly from that space into the studio where it can be professionally processed. So again, as we move into the 21st century and we think about things like streaming, web, whatever, it will all come out of this space. So we are still on the second floor, and we've now turned the corner around from the sound studio, and I'm standing in front of a room that right now is obviously just a shell, but what this space is going to be is a dressing room and a seminar room. And the way that's going to work is during the day, classes will be scheduled in this space, hopefully back to back to back, and around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evening, the staff of the building will come in, we'll pull down panels, and dressing mirrors will be revealed. The chairs that have been around the seminar table will be turned around out to the walls, where there will be a series of dressing room stalls. And there will be two rooms identical. One will turn out to be the men's dressing room, and the other will be the women's dressing room. Both will be totally usable during the day as seminar rooms. So we are now inside the flexible theater. And looking over my shoulder, we can span over the space, and we can see that it's filled with building equipment right now. But we can use our imagination, and because it's a flexible space theater, it can be anything and anywhere we want it to be. And we're standing on the balcony catwalk that goes around it. Again, this could be used easily in performance. This is where a Juliet could call down to her Romeo. But if we look directly across from where I'm standing, we're actually looking right into the lobby of the Beehive. And I showed you this before, coming the other way, but now we're looking at it from inside the theater. And when I say to you that the flexible theater has a gigantic garage door that opens up the space to the entire building, well, you can see it right now in front of you. And you can see how it makes it such a unique and exciting space. This space will be limited by only the imagination of the students, the faculty, and the artists that we bring in here. And again, if we look up, we'll see another variation of what I refer to as a catwalk in the other space, in the concert hall. But this is a much, much more obvious catwalk. And you can see that it's a catwalk grid. It allows us to hang any kind of projector or instrument almost anywhere in this space we want to, and turn the entire space into a flexible performance area. We're now on the third floor of the building, and we are standing right outside of what is going to be a world-class costume shop, where our students will learn how to design and construct costumes. The Department of Theater does a 5-show season, as well as the student theater organization. The alternate college theater does a 2-show season. So this provides our students with all kinds of opportunities to learn and practice their craft. This space, as well as the scene shop on the first floor and the design labs, which I'll show you in a second right across the hallway, are truly the laboratory spaces in this building where we are going to train the next generation of theater artists. And we're now still on the third floor, but we're standing outside one of the most amazing spaces in the entire facility, and it is the dance studio. It will also be used quite often as a reception area. Dance has become one of the most popular programs at the college right now. It has been made an official part of the theater and dance department, and we now offer a minor in dance. And a lot of our students, especially students who are going to law school or medical school or business school, love to practice dance, and so now we're going to have a facility that's going to meet their needs. It will also be the space where we will hold our gamelan classes, and the gamelan is an Indonesian music program that we've had at this college now for 20 years. We are one of the leading proponents, spaces where gamelan is taught and practiced in New England, and again, the dance studio will house both the gamelan music program as well as the Balinese dance program, and this is where we'll prepare the annual dance Balinese concert, which will be held in the concert hall across the way. Okay, Holy Cross alumni, this is a space you're going to want to see, and a space you're going to want to see for yourself. On the third floor of the Arts Building, I just showed you the dance studio. We've come around to outside the dance studio to the dance studio terrace. And as you can see over my shoulder, we can see all of Worcester. I don't know if we can see the Puller Ballpark from here, but as you know, Worcester is taking off, and this art center is going to be a big part of the renaissance of the Worcester area. And we imagine that this terrace connected to the dance studio will be one of the most attractive reception areas on campus. But anyway, we look forward to seeing you up here on the terrace after you spend some time inside the Arts Center. So we are still on the third floor. We came from where the dance studio is, and we hooked the corner, and we are now looking into the art gallery. And you can see right in front of me is the large glass window. So this gallery is actually looking over Hogan parking lot, or what you probably remember being called Hogan 3. The art gallery, which is right above the main entrance of the building, overlooks the side of the campus from that direction. If the camera goes to my right over to here, this area over here is going to be a small seminar presentation area where the gallery of the director or art professors can bring in a work of art and show it to students. Right behind that area is a large storage area for artwork. And on the other side, all the way across, you can see there's a wall there, but behind that wall is going to be a workshop for restoring art. And in the back corner is the office for the director and the assistant director of the art gallery. And so this entire area, which if the camera pans all the way around, you'll notice that we are overlooking, like every space in this building, this central beehive. So we're standing at the base of the beehive, looking up at the magnificent skylight. And right behind us, if we slowly circle around, we have the scene shop, the expansive scene shop. But it's not quite this expansive because we're missing a couple walls. We're missing a wall on the right side, which will form an alleyway to the loading dock. And on the left side, there's also a hallway, but also there'll be a couple offices for the technical director and the assistant technical director. This entire space will be open with glass so that if you're standing in the beehive, like I am right now, I can look over and I can watch them working in the set shop. And if I'm standing in the beehive, actually at this very spot, I'll be standing right at the Beehive Cafe, so I can get my cup of coffee and I can pay for it and I can stand here and I can watch them build a set as I drink my coffee, or I can rotate around. And there's going to be a little performance area here, and so it's lunchtime, and I'm going to have my coffee, I'm going to eat my lunch, and I'm going to listen to a noonday concert being performed right here at the base of the Beehive atrium. And that sound is going to fill this entire hallway, and that light is going to pour down from above, and it's going to be glorious.
Greetings. I hope that you enjoyed this unique opportunity to see the incredible progress that is being made on the Pryor Center for Performing Arts. Thank you to Trudy and Neil Pryor and to all those who have joined them in the major support that empowered the construction of this state-of-the-art facility. We are so excited for all that this amazing center will make possible for our students. And I cannot thank you enough for all that the Holy Cross family has provided for this initiative. Please continue to follow this extraordinary venture and look out for other updates in the coming year as we draw closer to the opening and dedication of the center. It will be wonderful to see so many of you in person sometime soon. I hope you enjoy the rest of the summer.